Is creating or maintaining a nice yard easy? That's what we're gonna get into right now. Saying that maintaining a nice yard is easy just simply isn't true, because that implies it takes little to no effort. And anyone who has a lawn, a nice lawn, knows that that simply isn't the case. Between mowing twice a week, overseeding in the spring and fall, dethatching at least once a season, aerating, fertilizing, watering, there's nothing about that says easy or screams this is easy to do. It's okay, it doesn't mean it can't be done, but it does take some effort. Let's just be honest with each other. It takes effort to have a nice lawn. You can't just throw something down and hope for the best. It doesn't work that way. Now, if you are determined to have a nice yard, lawn, grass, then it's gonna take a little bit of effort, at least a little bit. You're gonna have to mow, you're gonna have to seed, you're gonna have to fertilize, and during the hot summer, you're gonna have to water. Jason, I'm talking to you. Just kidding, you know what I mean. All right, so if you want to get into this and actually have that nice yard, just be ready to put in some effort, a little bit of money. Things aren't cheap, and you're gonna have to be determined and consistent. That's gonna be the biggest thing that's gonna make your yard successful. Now, the hardest thing for me by far when I was just starting out was actually getting my fertilizer schedule down to make sure that everything stayed green and nice throughout the season. By far the hardest thing. But as you get more experienced, this becomes much easier, and you're not second guessing yourself every application. Now, the second hardest thing for me by far was keeping the leaves off the lawn in the fall. Everything else is fairly basic, but keeping the leaves off for me where I live is a daily task, because I just don't want to choke out the grass. But being surrounded by woods, there's leaves constantly falling throughout the fall season. For you, if you live in the city or something like that, it might not be as big of an issue, so that's just a bonus for you. So on to the easiest things that you can do to have a nice yard. First thing for me, just mow at least twice a week. I know it can be difficult. We all have busy lives. We have family, we have work, we have other obligations. The lawn doesn't always come first, unfortunately. But get your mowing schedule down, at least try and do it twice a week, and that will greatly increase how your yard looks throughout the whole season. Now, one of the other more important things, which is also easy to do, and I know some of you already know what I'm gonna say, but that is water your lawn correctly. Don't just throw down a whole bunch of water. Yes, you want about an inch per week on average, but sometimes you can't do that. Sometimes you don't have time to set up your sprinklers and whatnot. But just be vigilant with your lawn when it comes to the watering schedule and what the weather's doing. It's all gonna play in to the overall look of your lawn, especially come fall when everything's at its peak and looking its absolute best. So make sure you're staying on top of the watering. Now, for the last thing to help you out in getting that nice lawn, this is what I suggest, and that would be look ahead. What's coming next? What are you going to need to do next? You've gotten your seed in, say it's spring, you got your seed in, you've been watering, things are growing in, you've been mowing, everything's looking good. But if you notice that you might need to dethatch in the fall, start planning that. If you don't have a dethatcher, go buy a dethatcher. You can use a rake, you can do it by hand, that's fine. That's just an example. Just always be planning ahead of what you're gonna need. If you're gonna need fall fertilizers, go out in the spring and buy your fall fertilizers. It's probably gonna be cheaper because most things will go on sale. Or you can buy it now in the fall and get the end of the year clearance, and that's gonna help you out come next season. You're already gonna be prepared. And that's what I personally try and do, is make sure I'm one step ahead of what's coming next. Now, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Hope you found it a little bit helpful. And yeah, this has been Backwoods. We'll see you in the next one.